Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. So there's a good look at the undercarriage, what we've done so far. That's coming along nicely. And here's a look of the engine. That's coming along nicely as well. Pretty highly detailed. We've added some of our own parts. Probably one of the better builds we've ever done. In this video we're going to add some interior detail. We're going to build the interior. And we're also going to assemble the tires. I did try to letter the white walls. As always, please like and share and subscribe to the channel. We're always blessed to share the hobby with you here. We also have recently started a Facebook group, Glastenbury Designs Model Building. You're welcome to join it. Share your photos or your videos that you made of your own model builds. Or if you're on YouTube, share a link to your channel. We'd be happy to have you. So doing the white lettering on the tires is much harder than I had initially planned. I tried to do it with toothpicks, which I was probably putting on too much paint because I was just filling the white walls or the letters. One of the tires is lettered on both sides because I just realized I wasn't able to do it with the toothpicks. I've got an ultra fine brush here, and I'm going to go to an art shop and see if I can get one that's even finer. I was able to get the letters done. I'm still not happy with them, but it's my first time trying, so we'll take what we've got, and you will get better next time. So I don't go too long into this part of this clip with the painting of the white lettering. Just such a long and tedious process. I've made a lot of corrections, and this is the last tire that I did paint up, and I will give you a look at it here shortly. It doesn't come out too bad. I'm just not overly happy with it. And so there it is. Like I said, it's not too bad, just not overly happy with it. Moving right along. There's the dash. We've painted the gauge cluster. We painted that center piece there that holds the radio and holds the heater controls. And now we're just painting up some other small things on the side of the dash, trying to get everything detailed out the best we can. And then we add a couple of other pieces to the dash. There are holes there that we had drilled out, and I re-drilled them, make them a little bit bigger. Some of the knobs that I put in are just a little too large. And once again, I'm not happy with it, but it's my first model I'm really detailing out. So the goal is to get better in the future, maybe get some better supplies, and build a more high-end product. Now you can see the interior tub sitting there, which also doubles as the bed of the truck. I have the interior painted a light tan, and I have the bed painted black. I had considered painting it the same as the body color, but it crossed my mind to have it look almost like one of those spray-in bed liners. So that's the look we're trying to achieve there. All right, now on the blue pad down by my knee, there's 5 little pieces of white styrene that I've cut off. What I'm using them for is the knob controls for both the radio and the heater. I'm going to be putting them in the dash and the openings. I haven't done this before, so I totally misjudged how big that was going to look in the dash. So they're much larger than they should be. We work with it, but I definitely need to buy some different products in the future moving forward. So these are much longer than they actually need to be. We glue them in, I fiddle with them a little bit. I get them pointed roughly about how I want them to be. Well, it seems proper for them coming out of the dash, and give them a chance to firm up, which doesn't take all that long with this being CA glue. And then we go ahead, clip them down to the length that they need to be, and then we'll get them painted up. This has ultimately been a fun project. I've learned a lot. I got a lot of skills that I'll bring with me to my next project that I detail out like this. And I've also had fun looking up some of the Subaru facts of the Subaru Brat and sharing them with you. I'll probably try to do that with some other models coming out down the road here. But overall, pretty happy so far. I do end up taking a break from this car and building a box stalker coming up because I need a break from the tedious detail and the effort that goes into creating the piece. So before I started recording, I clipped out of the chrome tree both of the shifter knobs, the one for the transmission. I guess they're both for the transmission, but the one for shifting through the four-speed transmission and the one for shifting it in and out of four-wheel drive. Because at the time this car was built, Subaru didn't have the all-wheel drive. It was still a four-wheel drive that you would select. Go back in, we paint them flat black, and I think I make both of the shifter knobs silver. So we're going to move into installing the seats, and I'm going to give you a look at them here in a second. One of them's cracked a little bit in the paint department, and the reason for that is when I was spraying them, the can began to splatter a little bit. So the paint got a little bit thicker, and it gives more of like a textured look, almost like a cloth look. I actually really like it. Um, I would have preferred, I guess, if the paint didn't crack, but the fact that the seat looks textured like cloth makes me very happy. Uh, so we're going to add the steering wheel in also. And I also just showed you the dash. Um, at this point, we've painted the knobs on the dash silver. That's the seat that cracked right there. But we've painted the knobs on the dash silver, and we're just going to go with what we've got. There's one of the seats fully installed. I had to take a break. One of the kids needed me, so now we're back at it, and we're going to finish getting this thing assembled up here. So that seat there, the driver's seat that we just put in, gives me a little bit of trouble on placement, which it didn't give me trouble beforehand. And I can't imagine that the paint is all that much thicker or adds that much thickness to the seat, other than the fact that it's splattered and gave me that textured feel or appearance. So I'm beginning to wonder if that's what's going on there. Now, another thing that I did off camera is the backs of the seats were sort of hollow. So I added a piece of plastic in there, and then I used some Tamiya putty. You've probably seen it in my box before. And we filled that with putty twice. The first time I filled it in, sanded off the roughness, and then I went back, filled it in some more. I don't know if that's giving you a good view of it or not, but I feel like they came out fairly good. It looks like the cloth or the vinyl, whatever it would have been, was stretched over, sort of like that metal rib or the metal frame of what the seat would have been probably manufactured out of for that time. Now that the seats have been glued in, what I'm doing is I'm going back and we're going to put a drop of glue at the bottom of each of the seats in the back corners. That's 4 drops of glue. I do have a little bit of an error here where I squeeze on one of the corners a little too much and we get a kind of a gob of glue there, but it runs under the seat. It's more than I'd planned on, but it's an error that kind of hit itself, so that's fine. We're checking the fitment of the dash here. We're going to pull that out, add a little bit of glue, get that set into place. Then once we have the dash set into place, we add the steering wheel and we call it a day. As always, I want to thank everybody who's subscribed. You all are making the channel a success, and I appreciate that. If you haven't subscribed yet, I would appreciate it if you do. Give the video a thumbs up. Give me a comment or any type of tips you might have to offer on how I'm building the models. Maybe just like the video. And like I said earlier, if you want to join our Facebook group, Glastenbury Designs Model Building, go ahead and join that. Post your videos and your photos and just use it as a place to talk about models and get tips on model building and share ideas. Until we see each other again, everybody out there be safe, everybody be blessed, and thank you for watching.